Hello and welcome to the DFS_PhD show for today, the 29th of April. Remember, you're good enough, you're strong enough, and gosh darn it, someone's got to win that money. And hey, we've got some ideas about how to win money over at PredictionStrike. Remember, we're sponsored by PredictionStrike. You can use the promo code PhD for their best deposit match bonus. And you can check out the Discord for some plays by Foreign Star. Basically, they've got a pretty good formula for how things move in the MMA market when you have a win. So if you're in the mood to bet Baralho, geez, I'm terrible at these pronunciations, Despania, Waters, Hadley, Ruffy, Lucindo, Hardy, pretty good place to do that sort of hedging and gambling and stuff versus DFS. So check that out. And now on to today's slate. And hey, when you got number one, I don't understand what we're doing anymore. Like we saw the change, right? Everybody saw Joval didn't play in the second half. But I still got sites projecting Jonas Valanciunas for minutes. I guess he's going to start and then DNP after 12 minutes if it doesn't work out. No, the reason that they did that and the reason that they should have done it, the whole thing, this is in the entire matchup. Like, I guess this is three. Maybe this is the playoffs. Whatever. I mean, if you did it for the whole season, it would show the same thing. Yeah, I think I hashed it the playoffs. But defensive rating of Jonas during the playoffs is 120. Nearest worst player on the team, Alvarado, 5 points better. He's just a gaping hole in the defense. So, and you could see it. Like when he was off the court, Chet, no points, like absolutely nothing. And so I was trying to figure out how to do that. If you know how to where the advanced person-to-person stats are, please sound off in the comments. But basically, these are the guys you would expect to play for defensive purposes. Naji Marshall, Dyson Daniels, I mean, Brandon Ingram and CJ McCollum are going to play regardless. And Larry Nance, he's the only big guy on the list. The other big guy, I mean, Herbert Jones up here. I mean, even Zion wasn't doing that great in the playoffs anyway. So, um, yeah. So we'll see what they come out with tonight. But do not be surprised if you find Larry Nance starting. Speaking of, let's do check the. I was trying to get this to come up on the Saber Sim. Oops. But it didn't, yeah, it wasn't showing me the games up here like it normally does. So let me go to NBA schedule. Just want to see when this game is. Yeah, the Pelicans game is until 5:30. So there's some chance we don't get that unusual starting lineup until after Celtics Heat is locked. Now, granted, it's Celtics Heat. More people are going to be on, presumably, Lakers Nuggets. But possible edge here if you design your entire lineups to jam Larry Nance. Because you should. There's no reason. I mean, if you saw the way that second half went in the last game, did I have that? I deleted that. Popcorn machine it yourself. It's incredible. It's an incredible watch. Like I'm sorry to DK for not completing. I mean, for not getting his parlay, but they completely did what we've been yelling at them about for so long because of the matchups being obviously wrong. Larry Nance started the second half. Remember, they did that the whole season. That could be what you see. If you wanted to bet some J-Val unders on that thesis, alt unders, and combine them, that would be fine. They might not cash, depending on how your sportsbook treats DNPs, because I'm not sure about a J-Val start here because they don't have time to mess around. Like J-Val, in this game, he played like what? He didn't play 10 minutes. He was a minus 10 in 10 minutes. He's just like, it's not good out there. Like he doesn't give them a chance when the Larry Nance unit comes in. So what if you started with a Nance unit and then went to Naji Marshall? Then you're just bam, 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 nothing for Chet, nothing for Chet. So I mean, obviously they have other players and they could pop off, and maybe Chet still gets there. That's all within the range of outcomes. But I mean, am I going to be 90% Larry Nance, assuming he starts, and everybody's just guessing he's not going to start? Yeah, that's fine. I mean, like 100% Larry Nance is a lot because there's foul trouble risk. But where's the next nearest value on the slate? Like Jovic, yeah. I like Jovic too. Let's put them both. Let's give a little bit more Jovic. 3x the field on Jovic because I think he's going to play a lot. But yeah, I don't know what's going on, why this is so limited. It's got 5,000. Yeah. I've given it a lot of conditions, I guess, but I didn't think this was that much to deal with. My two favorite plays on the slate are Nance and Jovic. Let's look at the rules. I put up a bunch of rules. I think they're important. I didn't just change around these projection medians arbitrarily. I did kind of at the top make it so dudes are where I expect them to be as dudes. Like Jokic is far and away the best. So, I mean, like, is 12 and a half. Yeah, I think 12 and a half points captures in the playoffs. Then you have Shai, LeBron, and AD, who I think all have about the same ceiling. And Tatum, who doesn't really because of all the options on Boston, plus um, the blowout probability of this game. So, like, yeah, in the smash case, I guess I should make him the same as these other guys. But I don't really want to be. I don't think he gets to that smash case that often. Like, how often do you think in up 3-1 they're running him out there major minutes? I think they're trying to conserve energy already. I don't know, 20% at the most for me. Yeah, Fields at 26. I don't want to be all the way with you guys on that. Let's look at, yeah, where's the, actually, did I say the rules? No. So max 2 out of 3 of the New Orleans Big Three. I wish I could hash this. Something's going wrong with Saberson right now. But those are Trey Murphy and Brandon Ingram and CJ McCollum. I don't think all three of them hit their maxes. You can leave out the rule. It's a short slate. I did allow $500 of wiggle room, and I'm not forcing a minimum. You could, if you're worried about dupes, I'll probably take a dupe or two. I don't really care. I'm trying to get the optimal lineup. I only running 40 out there. I think that's kind of a tough thing to get to. And then I got all sorts of Miami rules I just clicked because of the past. The actual thing I'm running today is the max 2 Miami wings thing. So that is max 2 out of Duncan Robinson, Highsmith, Jaquez, and Jovic. I think one of those guys, or two of those guys, are probably slate breaking values, and the other two are trash. And you don't really know which one it is beforehand. So I think Jovic is pretty secure. I think one of them is probably Jovic, but Jovic playing does make it harder for the other ones. So yeah, I think also Caleb Martin has a huge opportunity. He's chalk, but chalk that I'm eating today, massively underpriced. He's played a lot of minutes in a lot of games, and we're not even accounting his usage rate's like 60% or like fantasy points per minute, 0.6 to get him to this. So I think I got to stay with the field on that. That's a good call. Okay, what was the other? Max 2 out of 3 Oklahoma City stars. So, Chet, Shai, and Jalen all are good, and they have higher than given projections, but they don't all get there together. So that's how I'm trying to handle that max 2 out of 3. And then I think that's all of the rules because the other, yeah, we don't have a fork anymore. It's Nance. It's Nance. It's Nance. And I mean, Naji can play the 4 too, so it doesn't have to be Nance or Naji. I'm not doing a fork there. I do have max 1 New Orleans scrub. This is a Dyson Daniels, Naji, and Alvarado, and that's whether Daniels gets extended in a defensive mindset, Alvarado gets extended in an offensive mindset, or Naji gets extended in a small ball mindset. I think they got 12 minutes to go around with no JB at all. So that's where I'm putting the 12 minutes. Okay, and I think that basically, yeah. So now let's look at what you guys are doing and what I'm not doing amongst it. I'm not doing Giddy. I'm not doing MPJ. I think Giddy and MPJ are fine, but also guys that can really, really hurt you when they are bad. Like they can be real bad. There's other guys to carry those teams. Many other guys. Josh Giddey, not in my big three OKC rule. He's the fourth wheel here. I mean, you do need 4 wheels for a car. I'm not sure that's quite exactly the option I want to bring up. Well, wait, what? No, come on, show me the Sims. Gotta get Sims up, guys. I can't miss a Sims. All right, but over here, what else? Yeah, I'm not playing Horford. 26% of you playing Horford? Jeez. I mean, he's cheap, but he's cheap because I mean, like, how many minutes are we even giving for Horford? 22? This is like the best case scenario, guys. I don't know. I don't know what y'all are doing. That's not for me. I need guys with upside to win tournaments, and that's not Horford. I think the rest of these guys, yeah, I don't. Okay, so y'all are. Where am I massively under the field? Massively under on Jaquez. Yeah, just because I think it's 50-50 him or Jovic, and maybe even lean towards Jovic at this point, based on the overall assertiveness. If Jaquez doesn't get that little move to the basket, he doesn't really have much else, whereas Jovic, I think, brings a few other moves to the table. Jokic, obviously good. What was my leverage? Let's just talk about plays I'm into. I'm into Larry Nance. You can have 100% Larry Nance. I'm fine with that. Like to start, and then you start pivoting. By the way, that's the other thing. Like somebody asked about my late swap process. It's a little different. So number one, if you just put your contest here, but then you go back to your build with all your custom rules and stuff, and then you click the late swap button from the build once the contests have been uploaded, then it will give you the option to late swap using the settings in the build. So you don't have to do all the stuff I used to be doing. And then the only other thing I do is I move it from 500 to 1,000. And I reset all these max exposures. Because if you do these a priori, then it breaks and it won't do an appropriate number of lineups. It'll tell you all sorts of things are a problem. Another thing you can do if you want, is there enough value? You can add a number of uniques and just see if you like that lineup set better. That's why I do it. Some people say it's a better, it's also a good way to control against your own biases. So yeah, okay, like it's been a 90% Larry Nance. Maybe this is the thing to do. I kind of like what happened there. Yeah, so when I say your own biases, I just gave it a bunch of rules, right? And so things that I've rated lowly are not necessarily bad lineups, but they're lineups that I've made bad by my biases. So by going not just with the ones that are the tops of my data set, but also with the ones that are at the tops or like at the very bottom, right? So 5,000, 4,900, that ensures that not only are you getting if you've kind of hedged against yourself, right? So number one, if you truly believe all the stuff I said today, then you want to go one min unique. But if you think, I don't know, some of that stuff in that guy's brain seems a little bit messed up, and you might see the complete opposite, then you go more min uniques, like the three, because that's what you're basically doing. Is you're saying, I don't think that the ordering system that you're suggesting is going to work at all, or I think it might be a rank ordering system. And for me, I don't know. If I've left the guy in this pool, like I didn't put like a bunch of these guys in the pool. I don't have Peyton Pritchard, Reggie Jackson, Kevin Love, Duncan Robinson, guys who I don't think are going to get minutes aren't even in the player pool. So all 50,000 lineups are solid, right? Or all 5,000, whatever it is. So you don't need to be getting just your highest rated lineups in there if you have 40 like I do. Like I can afford to run 20, from the top 500 and then 20 from the bottom, or I think this is more like what? We got one, two, three, four, five from the bottom five, and then a couple from the bottom middle. It's good. I like the way that's weighted. That's weighted. Probably I'm right, but if I'm wrong, I'm way wrong, right? And that sounds about right for me. And the guys it's getting to here, we're getting to extra Jalen Williams, Luguentz Dort. I like the looks of these. I'll probably settle on this lineup set, honestly, like based on the way things have started here. This is a good set. I mean, 0.5% Alvarado. I don't love being that high on him, but what's the highest leverage plays now? Yeah, these are all good. I mean, that's a lot of Haywood Highsmith, but I already got the jersey. Guy can win me $100,000 twice, no problem, right? No problem there. So yeah, I think I'll do three min uniques today just to try to make sure like last night. Oh yeah, did I even dwell on that? I won a lot of money. Did I not even put that up here? Yeah, we didn't even talk about that. I said someone's got to win that money and didn't even talk about. Yeah, I got 26th in the 4-pointer last night. It was really close. If Cat could just fricking continue to score, Cat. Like don't just be like, oh, now it's Ant-Man's turn. Let's let him score 12 fourth quarter points and I'll do nothing. If Cat continues to be assertive in the fourth quarter, I win first place. So, now you've heard that rant, but it was a good start. They're not even giving 100K for the showdown tonight. Maybe I'll give a brief thought about that since I've basically said everything I want to say for the main slate. Yeah, so the showdown tonight, what is that? The last game? It's the Lakers in Denver. Yeah, kind of gross. No real edge. Probably, yeah, it's not 100K. It's no real edge. I'm not going to max it. I'll do one or two shots. What am I going to do? D'Lo had a bad game. It looks like people are really under the field on D'Lo. I have a couple of pick six bets on that I think are good on D'Lo. So yeah, I guess I'll probably do some weird D'Lo things on the showdown slate. Also, make sure that you bring a guy who's a possible zero into play. I think a zero is probably in play on that showdown. Let's have a look. What's the pricing like on this showdown? If I'm going to talk about it, let's bring it up. It's not 100K, like I say. I probably won't even have any darts in the big tournament, but I know some people enjoy to see this talked about. Any major values? No, exactly. So that's the problem. When you don't have any major values, that means the best possible thing to do on the slate is like jam these top guys, because even if you had a value captain, you'd be too duped. So you got to jam a top guy. Your only options are these absolute top guys. Yeah, it's like these guys. I don't think probably even D'Lo in a smash. Yeah, I guess you could maybe get to a D'Lo or Austin Reeves ceiling game, Aaron Gordon. Yeah, some of these guys maybe have a chance, but probably it's got to be a main guy, and then you got to have guys who are zeros, who you give points to. Gabe Vincent is pretty close to that, huh? I still love the Gabe Vincent minutes. I think they should give him more. I think you can give him a couple more. So I guess Gabe Vincent is my secondary edge here on the slate. If Vanderbilt's available to play, I don't know what's going to go on, man. He might get minutes instead of like Dinwiddie or something. He might play a significant amount. You could do that, but he's 25%. So I'm going to unclick that. It's outrageous. Not playing 25% Jared Vanderbilt, even if he is in. What are you guys doing? I assume that's just like something hasn't run yet, or they're a set of assumptions that's built in. But I'll run this for later. Yeah, I don't anticipate using these lineups though. Like I say, I don't see a lot of edge here. We don't have any rules for this game at all. So best of luck to you in the showdown. Maybe I'll play late slate. I mean, is that a thing? Probably. If you parse it into late slate, then you can use some of the rules from the second game, right? Because yeah, the Pelicans is the second game. So probably that's where I'll be spending my money and time today. But remember, you're good enough, you're strong enough, and gosh darn it, someone's got to win that money. Might as well be us. And use promo code DFS or PhD on PredictionStrike to get their best offer.